Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you all. Welcome back to Sippin With Sin, number one podcast about 7 things stuff important to everybody across the world. From the North Pole to Krampus's cave, we are the number one podcast of such things. And we're here for another episode. That's right, episode 126. And the time that you are listening to this, it is the holly jolly time of the year. So Merry Christmas to you and your loved ones. Happy holidays. Hope you have a great one. And we appreciate you listening on this festive days. It may not be spooky season, but you know, there's still spooky stuff that happens on Christmas. It is, yeah. But number one podcast, 7 things. I digress. We're getting into it. We got stuff to talk about. So without further ado, let's welcome our esteemed colleague, Robin Locks himself, the one and only angry gingerbread cookie, and Mr. Christian.
How's it going, everybody?
I was trying to think of fun stuff to say to you, and I just run blank. I was like, man, I don't know. I should have called you the Grinch. That's what I should have called you.
You had the door was open. You didn't walk through. That's okay. That's okay.
I mean, Krampus was stuck in my head, but I was like, no, I'm not giving him that title. He doesn't get to be Krampus.
You know what? I'm okay with that. You should be okay. But it feels good to be back. I'm sure we have enough to talk about before we, this is our last podcast of the year. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you're listening to this episode, whether it's your first episode, your last episode, the next episode, thank you so much. I'm sure I'll say that again a bunch of times during the recording of this episode. But thank you again for listening.
We hit 100 episodes.
We got plenty to talk about. We hit 100. That's a lot. That's a lot of talking. That's a lot of.
We're already a quarter of a way through the next 100 this year.
Yeah, I mean that's true. A lot of notes. I literally filled up an entire notebook with nothing but just like notes and accidental rants. Like it's insane looking at this. But that said, I guess we'll go ahead and get started with what we've been doing the past week: reading, listening to, watching, playing. If you'd like me to start, I will. If you want to start, that's okay.
It's whatever. I mean, I don't really have a lot because I was running around like a crazy person.
I'll go ahead and start just because I also don't have a whole lot. Okay. Some of the stuff that I've been doing, reading, watching, whatever, we'll talk about later. But I can say that I finished a book literally today. That book, I think I mentioned on the pod before. It's called The Fisherman. I literally forgot who it was by. I don't have the physical book next to me right now. It's in another room. But I did finish reading it. I think I mentioned it earlier, kind of telling you guys it was more like a cosmic Lovecraftian horror, almost a film, horror novel. Definitely gives me notes of other things. I wrote a review on it. For those of you who are, in the reading circle, there is an app called Fable. Fable is an app you can use to track, what you're reading, what you want to read, what you've, finished, what you didn't finish, all that stuff. It's kind of like Goodreads, but a little more user-friendly because you can add shows to it as well. But the way that I describe it mostly is like a Letterboxd. If you guys have used Letterboxd, it's a lot like that. So I wrote a review on The Fisherman recently, today, 5 hours ago at the time of this recording. And I'm going to read you that review just to kind of let you guys know how I felt about the book. The review says, I honestly was about to drop this title about halfway through. The first part was amazing and definitely makes you feel the character's grief. The second part was a cool story, but to drop it in halfway and for it to tell the true ending of how the story is going to end was a crime. The third part was good, but it doesn't hit as hard because you already told us how it's going to end in part 2. Also, having a huge flashback from the narrator really takes away from the impact. Also, the author was heavily influenced by Pet Sematary and a couple other Lovecraft tales, which I did enjoy. That's my review on the novel. Essentially just saying the book is told in 3 parts. You have the present story, which is a man who is experiencing like the worst kind of grief. His wife passes due to cancer, and they haven't been married that long. So that sucks. They had a lot of plans about life, but they got cut short. We learn about how he's starting to cope with it. What he does, he fishes a lot in order to not feel as pained. He meets another friend who also experiences a huge loss. His wife and children are lost to him in a car accident where they get hit by an 18-wheeler. And he is also grieving, and they fish together. And then the story starts to take a turn because one character does this pet cemetery thing and kind of says he knows a new place to fish that nobody's ever heard of. And when he starts telling people where they're going to fish, they start freaking out like they've heard about this place before and they don't want them to go. And then the story just kind of takes a stop, and then you get the second part of the story, which is a huge flashback telling the story of the place in which they're going to fish, how it got its name. Sorry, what happened there, the creature or creatures that are encountered during this, and how the characters survive or don't survive. After that portion of the story is told, and it's really long, by the way, then we come back to present day and finish off that main character story with going to this place to fish and meeting who he's going to meet and what's going to happen there. So it's just a very odd way to tell the story. And to pause it halfway through to put in another story was just really weird. The stories were really good, well written, just the pacing was really off. But aside from that, guys, I wanted to talk really quickly about the Superman teaser that we got today at the time of this recording. There will be a full trailer. The first full trailer drops tomorrow at the time of this recording. I will be the next time that we talk, I'm sure that'll still be a big point of conversation for a lot of people to go into the new year. We'll have more information, I'm sure, from James Gunn himself. So we'll be talking about that. But I did watch the teaser. The teaser is really just the new music, which is a redone version of the original Christopher Reeves, John Williams Superman score, which is cool. I do like that. And you see him flying around a little bit. You see the Daily Planet. You see people looking at him, but you don't see him in full, which that's how you do Superman teaser trailer, excuse me. I really like that. I played more RoboCop. It's fantastic. Love the game. I do want to beat it pretty soon, though, because there's some other stuff that I want to play that I mentioned last week that I don't want to get into now to, for the sake of time. And then as far as comics go, I've only read 2 this week. I read Justice League Unlimited issue 1, which I actually do have right here. For those of you watching, you can see the copy. You see the team on here. This is not the full team because it's Justice League Unlimited. It's like every Justice Leaguer ever in this book. The artwork is by Dan Mora. The story is written by Mark Waid. It's fantastic. This was a really good first issue. Everybody gets a second to shine. Star Sapphire definitely gets a moment in this, which is cool, especially if you're a Green Lantern fan. Flash has a really funny moment in this. Black Lightning has a really cool moment in this. I like that he looks exactly how he looks in his own comic right now, which is also pretty good 2 issues in. I recommend hopping on that unless you want to wait for the trade. But aside from that, I did read Absolute Batman issue 3, which I don't have in front of me. It's somewhere in here. It's a hot mess right now, as you can see. But I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm going to run over time. But I will say there was an Easter egg for Bane, and I can't fucking wait for them to show us this character in the Absolute universe. So I'm very excited about that. Aside from that, there are a couple of other things that I have gotten into a little bit this week, but I'll talk about those more as we progress. Sin, what about you?
Okay, so I had a crazy busy weekend. We had like a sweater party with some friends, and it was raining, so that was nice and cold and awesome. So I took up one of my evenings. We've been watching our Christmas movies, 25 Days of Christmas that me and the missus do. It's like the yin to the yang, I guess, of me doing my spooky season. She gets like 25 Days of Christmas movies, which is fine. It's whatever. Gets everybody in the festive mood. And we throw horror movies in there because it's me, and I'm not just going to have everything all holly jolly happy. I'm going to have my Black Christmases and, all that fun stuff. So we've been doing that. I did see the Superman teaser. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see hopefully the trailer's good and it makes me excited to watch Superman because I just don't really care for Superman. He just doesn't, I don't know. It's kind of like the Goku thing. Like, it's cool, but it is a limit, So hopefully it's good.
Yeah.
We'll see. Definitely curious to see James Gunn's touch on it. And we'll talk more about James Gunn a little later. But I'm curious to see kind of where that universe is going. I did get to go to a Titans game, the Tennessee Titans NFL football team. Haven't been to one in probably since we started the podcast. Probably in 5 years, probably. So I got to go. My wife wanted to go see a player on the other team that she was a big fan of, college and stuff like that. So her and her brother got to take them and go, and it was a good time. It was a little chilly, But, you know, it was a good time. It was good to get out, and haven't been able to go do that in a while, so we have fun. Past that, I have just played some COD. Haven't really got to play a lot of that. Haven't really got to do a lot of anything game-related or even movie-related. Still want to watch Smile 2. I'm very excited for Nosferatu. I'm hoping that maybe we can find a way to go see that in theaters somehow, because I would absolutely love to go see it on the big screen. I think it's gonna be probably the best horror movie of 2024. I have high expectations. I want it to be up there for me, where I'm like, hell yes,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm buying this. I need this in my life. This is how we do a vampire movie, you know. I do have access to a game. I was able to get access to a game. And I haven't got to fully start it yet because I ran into a snag. And Tom, obviously, felt under the weather with all the stuff I mentioned last weekend. You know, all that, being out in the elements. The drainage and the seasonal stuff with the cold and the Tennessee weather, it's definitely got us. I know Christian's feeling the effects too, so I'm essentially coughing up a lung every chance I get to try to get this drainage crap out. But I got a game that I'm going to play soon, and I'm really excited for, and that game is Path of Exile 2.
Nice.
I was blessed with a copy of it, so thank you. And, yeah. But I have bad news. Because I haven't got to play it because it took me a second to decide, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to be a witch. I think I decided I'm going to be a witch. And do you know what I wanted to name my character, Christian?
I hope it's Tituba.
It 100% was Tituba. And I typed it in, and I was so amped. I was like, Tituba returns. I couldn't wait. And it said this name is taken. And all my sales just got deflated. So now I have to think of something to work around that. So I was a little deflated. But I am excited to check that out. It's got a lot of really good praise on it. So pretty stoked to check that out. Past that, I'm sure there's
a way to spell it differently in order to do that.
Well, if you have a good spelling, Christian, you just let me know.
All right.
Past that, I finished Yellowstone. We watched commercials were included, but it's like the 2-hour finale of Yellowstone. So the show is wrapped, and I think it did a pretty good job wrapping it up, considering. I think I'm a little too brutal for it because Miss Sim was like, yeah, the ending, you know, had her complaints and stuff. And then I was like, this one character gets killed off. And I was like, if that was me.
Wait, which was this again?
Yellowstone.
Okay.
I was like, if that was me, I probably would have yeah. And my how I would have killed him off was way more gruesome. And she was like, good God. And I was like, what? So, yeah. But I mean, I think it was a solid show for the most part. Pretty good. I have not got to watch Dexter yet, sadly. I got to find a way to do that or upgrade my Paramount or whatever. But I did get a text Saturday. I guess I don't think the whole season come out. Do you know? It's just episodes, right?
Yeah, it's episodic, yeah.
Okay. But someone texted me and was just like, hey, have you seen the new Dexter? And I was like, no. And they were like, I'm not going to lie, I kind of like it. And I was like, I've heard a bunch of people say they kind of like it, so I don't know. I'm still really very much on the fence. I want to be like, yeah, I think it's going to be good, but then I'm like, I don't know. And now Dexter's coming back? From what they're showing in these trailers, he's coming back in the summer? In Resurrection? I mean, you've seen this, right? Where it looks like they're bringing him back, like they found him in the woods at the end of New Blood? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I did see that, but I didn't think that it was. I didn't know what to think of it, to be honest. So I just didn't read into it too much.
I mean, it's called Resurrection. Either he's gonna be like Harry, and he's gonna be like the ghost around Harrison, which potentially might work, or he's not dead, because Michael C. Hall even said it's really cold out there. Meaning, like, I guess he could slow blood, and he's. But if they bring him back to life. At some point, we got to leave him no longer coming back, people. Like, stop milking for money. I don't know. I'm unsure what to expect and what to think, but after this hiatus, hopefully I will have seen Dexter. I mean, I'm planning on watching Dexter. Original Sin? Is that what it's called? New Sin? Original Sin?
Original Sin.
Yeah. Are you gonna watch it?
I don't have access to Paramount, but I do want to. Excuse me. I do want to watch it. Like it's something that I am interested in.
I'm not sure how it works. I think you have to do Paramount and then upgrade it. I don't know. Because we have Paramount, but I haven't looked. I feel like you have to do it because it's on Showtime, and I think it's some kind of deal. I don't know.
I'm going to figure out a way to watch it. That's for sure.
Well, we'll try to have it watched because by the time we return from the holidays, it will be... Second episode comes out Friday. So, I mean, we'll be like probably halfway through the season, which I don't know how many episodes there are. Hell, it may be over. I don't know. They only have 6 episodes. Who knows? Anyways, I digress. Okay. So that's pretty much what I've been into for the most part. Other than that, I had a fun interview this week. I got to interview the one and only Carl Sanders of Nile for Behind the Vocals, so that was fun. Legendary death metal band. Got to chat with him. It was a blast. That was a good time. And then, final thing I want to talk about before I had some questions for Christian before we get into our other stuff was incoming rant number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Time to poke the bear. Did you see the news that Matt Reeves says he's in talks about Penguin Season 2?
I did not see that, actually. I did not see that. And
I have my thoughts and what I want right away.
Yeah.
Without going into in detail. I don't think we need a Season 2. The show, we praised it every week it was on. Heavily praised, gave it Show of the Year of 2024. We do not need a Season 2. As much as I love the show, I think that's just probably HBO being greedy and being like, oh, great ratings. Give us another season. I think if you're going to do another one, find another villain, continue the universe that way. I think we got, without spoiling Penguin, because I know my wife may be listening and she still hasn't watched it because she's a slacker all the way through. We got essentially what we needed from Oz and the Penguin character for that show. We got the progression and the evolution that we needed to get to where we need to go. We should be done. As awesome it is, I think we should be done. That's it. Don't need a Season 2.
Okay. I absolutely loved Season 1. I think that Season 2, the only way Season 2 would be a good idea is if it was confirmed that we were getting the Batman 3 and Season 2 leads us into Season 3. Or, I'm sorry, Season 2 leads us into the third installment, the third movie. Or Season 2 picks up right where the second movie leaves off, and it like completes the story of the Penguin without him having to be the main character, the main villain in a Matt Reeves Batman film.
So you're saying he's going to be the main character of his show, but not the movies?
Yeah, so like essentially this. If we have for an example, the Batman 2, whenever that comes out, like officially, Penguin's not going to be the main villain.
I don't think he is.
He might be.
Didn't they confirm he only has a couple scenes?
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we know that he's not the main villain because he's just not, right? They have other people that they're talking about. So because he's not the main villain, Season 2 of Penguin would make sense if they tied his story up and we got to see how that conflict was going to happen with Batman, like how he eventually goes down or doesn't go down, whatever happens with that, if they wrap it up in a nice bow. The problem, though, is we don't have a Vic character in that show, so that's something that you're taking away from it innately, which made him likable or hated. You know what I'm saying? You can't just add another character to replace that character. So I think the best thing to do in this situation is either do something different and show him on top, but all the problems that come with being on top, that directly result in him having a conflict with the Batman, or you don't do a Season 2 because, like you said, it is unnecessary, especially when you have the lightning in the bottle that is Season 1. It's just there's no way that they're going to be able to do better than that. You know what I mean? But to stop dick riding the first season, right? If I don't want to keep glazing it, it's just I don't see where they're going to take the story of season two unless it directly involves Sophia and then involves Selena because she was teased, and then Batman shows up at some point to put a stop to what's happening with Penguin. Right? That's the only way that works to me, so that he doesn't need to be the villain of the third movie or even in the movie for the third one. And he could be talked about. He could have a cameo maybe, but he doesn't need to be in the movie for that long. And I think that's the only way you can really make that work. But that's pretty much all I had to say. Like really quickly, since I didn't know that that was a thing. That's my immediate
How
thought.
how much do you think it's HBO being like, wow, this show got really good reviews and so forth, and
96%
you know
HBO.
they're trying to cash in like they're doing with any franchise that, or even Showtime doing the same thing with Dexter's. Like, oh, let's keep going till while people watch. Let's keep making that money.
Yeah, I mean, look at Game of Thrones, right? Like,
Yeah.
obviously, we're Game of Thrones fans. I don't like the last season. I think it's trash, but I love the books. We're never gonna get the Winds of Winter book because George R. R. Martin is just never gonna fucking write the thing at this point. But like, I really enjoy the content that we get from it because those are books, right? All of the stories that we're getting are books. Now, are they stretching this shit out? Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, they're stretching it out. They're making as much money as they can because it's their biggest draw. I get that, but we can go back to the source material on that. You could say the same about the Penguin, and Batman and all that, but the way that they are taking the source material for Matt Reeves' version of the Batman as opposed to like the comics, it's very different. They're changing a lot of stuff up on purpose, and it's Matt Reeves' own thing essentially. It's like his way to do Batman, his way to do Penguin, his way to do Joker, his way to do Gotham, like all that stuff. Gotham feels skeezy and sleazy in Matt Reeves' universe, but in the way that I like Gotham to feel from the comics, so it makes sense. However, like you were just saying, I don't think that it's necessary for them to make a whole bunch of spin-offs. You know, look at Sony. They made a shit ton of spin-offs. Craven just came out and it's not doing well. And they just announced that they're killing that universe, that Venom verse, if you will,
I
and they're gonna
mean,
reboot it in a few years.
Venom's
Like
about if Venom's the only
there's
good
reasons for
thing
that.
that come out of it, and even then, some of them are. I mean, I like it to the most part, but
From what I've seen like two scenes from Craven, right? And I feel like that'll be a movie that I'll watch and be like, it was fine. Like that's like the only one. Like Venom, the first one, I thought the first Venom was fine. It wasn't like my favorite. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I just thought it was fine. Venom 2, like I didn't even go see that one in theaters. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, Carnage is in it, but is this what kind of story are we telling? Then I finally saw the damn thing and I was like, this wasn't really good. And then I didn't even watch the third one either, like Venom Last Dance. Like I'll see that eventually when it's free, and I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna like it. Like just from what I've seen, I'm probably not gonna like that movie. But whatever. Madam Web is an Obama fucking nation. It is trash. Um, Morbius is also trash. It's not. Fuck. I actually don't know which movie is worse. No, that's a lie. Morbius is definitely better than Madam Web. Morbius is better than Madam Web for sure. It's just, in my opinion, not a good movie. The editing is dog shit in Morbius. Morbius could have been fun if whoever was editing the movie gave a shit, and if they just let the movie be rated R like it should have been. It would have been fine. Um, and then like we got Craven. Craven, like I said, I really like the actors that they have in the movie. The story is pretty simple. Craven's a cool character. You can kind of fuck around with him a little bit, and you can have him without Spider-Man immediately. That's kind of cool. So he's the only fucking character, in my opinion, that makes any kind of sense. But even then, like people have their opinions. I want to see Craven. Like I actually want to watch Craven. I didn't want to watch any of the other movies. So that's very telling in itself. But well, I'm glad that it's done, and Sony will focus on Spider-Man, make all that money, let Marvel kind of do some things so they can have even more money, and then they'll make another universe here eventually. It's gonna happen for sure.
okay.
I don't know if that counts as a rant though, because you asked me a bunch of questions. So
No, I really
does
didn't.
that count?
I didn't.
You did. You did.
What was the questions I asked?
Fucking hell.
Exactly, because you went on a damn rant.
I did no, dude. I swear to God, you asked questions. That was on you. Chat back.
Those listening, we have an over under if Christian would go on 3 rants today for this episode. So make sure you're keeping count there. That totally counts as a rant because I don't even remember the question because you went off on a tangent about every damn movie.
Jesus Christ. I do know that in the chat.
What the hell
Jordan
was the
says,
question?
My biggest issue. I know you asked at least 2 questions. One of the questions was
no, we were talking about Penguin, and somehow we got on this, and you was like spiraled out of control to.
Oh God.
What the hell was it?
Okay.
Yeah, literally, we were talking.
Jordan says in the chat.
So yeah, that counts as a rant.
Penguin.
That counts as a rant.
All right.
I don't even know how that one got on damn Venom.
He's got ADHD.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah.
Like actually.
Okay.
Like legit.
All right.
That is clinical.
Dude, Jesus. Okay, so I have some questions
says,
for you, Christian, before we get into some of the content we.
Wait. Read Jordan's chat. I forgot it actually. He says my biggest issue with Craven
you got it.
doing so poorly is I got you. My biggest issue with Craven doing so poorly is that we're finally getting a rated R superhero movie to allow it to be more realistic as far as the violence, and they come out with that mess. It's not helping our chances at making more regular occurrences. What Jordan is saying is, because Craven is ass, we're not going to get many more rated R superhero films. I do agree with you. Also, Jordan, you have to remember, all of the superhero movies that they make aren't for the fans. They are for money. And the reason why those movies come out and they are PG-13 is because PG-13 films typically make more money than rated R films because anybody can go to the theater to see a PG-13 film, which means they have more money in their pocket. So yeah, that's what that is.
Okay. Yeah. So, and we got, was it Deadpool Wolverine made, I don't know, so much money.
Million, yeah, it made $1 million. Also, Little Striker, no worries. My ADHD is clinical. I don't take medication currently for it, and it just happens. It just pops off. You get it. I don't take any offense at all. I'm really hard to offend, by the way, just in general. So you're good. But we'll move on. Sin, I think you had something else you wanted to say.
Yeah, I have some questions for you since this will be the final episode of Sippin With Sin for 2024. As we enjoy family and friends time for the holidays and kind of, recharge, I guess, if you will. So we're not trying to like scramble and throw an episode together for you guys and kind of half-ass it for the last couple weeks. And literally our recording day is when both of the holidays are. So instead of us trying to like work around with everything going on, because I know Christian has a lot going on, I have a lot going on, they're like, you know what, let's just chill for the rest of the year. We'll come back strong in 2025. And so with that being said, I want to know, Christian, what are you looking forward to on Christmas? And then
on the actual day.
Yeah. Because the time this episode drops, it will actually be Christmas Day.
Right. So to answer that question, what I'm looking forward to, I'm looking forward, honestly, and I know this is like a super old guy answer, and I apologize in advance, but I am looking forward to just having a fucking break. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to not having to wake up early, being able to stay up late, being able to have a little Christmas cheer in my glass, if you know what I mean. I'm just looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to just spending time with my wife, saying hi to family. Like, honestly, it's not about the gifts. It's not about money. I just want the fucking time off to just unwind and to come back just ready to go 2025. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. If I'm being honest, that is the thing.
Good answer. I'm looking forward to having a kid. Those that have kids out there, definitely kind of renews some of that wonder, if you will, of Christmas and like the excitement that we lose as we get older. So seeing him get excited and seeing him be pumped for Christmas, and I'm really looking forward to watching his face and like doing the Christmas things. And then, like you said, spending family time and spending time with my wife, with my kid, and my family and stuff. Looking forward to that. And also, I'm going to take off days too. So I'm looking forward to unplugging and just us getting to sit around as a family and, play video games or watch a movie without having to be like, all right, I need to get X, Y, and Z done, or I need to be doing this and that, and I'm really looking forward to that. So kind of not getting away, but you know what, I'm kind of like you said, just being able to chill for a minute, being able to take a breather, have a drink, put your feet up, kind of relax a little bit, hopefully. Like that, I'm looking forward to that. All right, so next part of this.
I think I lied to you. Like that, I am very much looking forward to that. But now that I'm thinking about it, I really want to go see Nosferatu on Christmas Day. Like I can't fucking.
It comes out on Christmas. I'm not gonna lie. If me and Mrs. can find a babysitter, I am 100% down. Does it actually come on Christmas Day?
Yeah, on Christmas Day.
I mean, I'm 100% down to go watch it Saturday or Sunday, if possible. I would, yeah. I want to see that really, really bad. Maybe I can sweet talk Mrs. Sin into that. But then again, I don't want to like make too many plans. But yeah, I know Christmas is a no-go. Day after, probably not, because we'll probably just be lazy because we'll have like family over for dinner and stuff. And yeah. Okay. Next part of that question, though. I'm sure we'll talk more Nosferatu here in a minute because I think both of us are very excited. Plus, great early reviews. So, I mean, my horror senses are tingling. I'm ready for it. 2025. What are you most looking forward to in 2025, Christian? And what are some of your 2025 goals? And what are some of the 2025 goals we have for the podcast?
Personal goals for the next year. I really want to step up my art a little bit. I want to finish a couple of projects that I have in the wings. I want to make some prints and start selling those again. And I want to, I want to work on me. You know, everybody wants to work on themselves, but I want to start getting more comfortable, more knowledgeable. I want to start speaking better so that when I'm on the podcast, I don't just sound like I'm ranting all the time. I actually sound like I'm intelligent and I know exactly what it is I'm saying. And I feel that way now, but I want to do that even better, I guess. I just want to upgrade myself a little bit. And then I want to start working on an art book. Like, I think that is something that's a goal that I've had for like the last 5 years, an art book. I really want to take a bunch of the finished art pieces that I have and a few sketches, compile those all together and put those in a art book that I can then sell. I think that'd be really cool. But as far as the podcast goes, just growing. I want to keep talking to people in the chat. I want to grow those numbers. I want to see people in my DMs asking questions about horror, about comics. I want to see all of that stuff. Like, I really love talking to you guys, and I want to grow this community that we have even more so. And I want you guys to feel more comfortable with being able to just, reach out and say, hey, Christian, what do you think about Superman's ass this time around? Like, whatever it is.
Not what I heard.
I like that kind of stuff.
Not what I heard at all. Hey, Christian, what do you think about Superman's ass? I was like,
oh, God.
Wow. Okay, that's the kind of questions Christian wants.
Hey, man, if that's the question that you feel like you need to ask, go ahead and drop a DM.
God.
I'll answer.
Superman's
So it's hilarious.
Do we want guests in 2025?
Yo, guests. Like, I don't know how that would work logistically, but I would love to have guests on.
Okay, so here's the question. While we're talking about guests, what kind of guests do we like? Kind of like, behind the vocals, I kind of have like just the vocalist, may do one-offs like other musicians. What do we target? Do we go after comic book people that we could get if we could find a way to get in touch with like some comic book artists or writers? Do we go for horror icons, writers, directors, people that play in movies? Like, what will we target?
I think we target nerds, right? Like, because that our culture is just kind of nerd culture anyway. Like, nerds can be horror nerds, it could be comic book nerds, it could be video game nerds. I think that we should just target nerds in general and then bring that in later. Dead Meat, I see in the comments. If Dead Meat wanted to be on our podcast for literally any reason for any length of time, I would shit myself. I'm not even going to lie.
So those out there listening, suggestions. Like, what kind of guests would you like to see on Sippin With Sin? We're 126 episodes in. maybe it's time we incorporate every, maybe once a month we could try to get a guest or something, or once every 2 months, depending on schedules and what we can figure out. But what will we go after and like pursue,
Mm-hmm.
Could be fun.
I think it would be easier for us to start with some horror fans and start talking about horror movies that we are all anticipating to see in the next year, and then move into comic book fans so we can talk to them about comics and then about new movies coming out. Like I know that the new Captain America movie comes out in February, so if we can get a couple of comic book people, whether that's comic book fans or comic book movie fans, it would be fun to talk to them about those things. Um, I would love to do that. I think that would be a really good way for us to kind of grow the community and to be able to talk to people about things that not only we like to talk about because it's, our podcast, but also be able to have in conversations and say things that we wouldn't normally say, right? Because you guys can hear me talk about Batman all day and how much I like Batman and how much I think Superman's okay, but I still want his movie to be good. But then if we get a real Superman fan on the podcast and they think, Batman sucks and Superman's cool, that's a really cool argument to have. Like, I don't think there's any wrong answer in that. Some people could get on and be like, I think both of them suck and Green Lantern's the way to go. Kyle Rayner, by the way. But if you get on and you think that the Green Lantern's the coolest, like, let me know why you think Green Lantern's the coolest. He is cool, but, like, tell me why you think they are better than everybody else. I think that'd be cool.
It's something we could I would love to hear you guys' suggestions. It would definitely be something fun to add another dynamic to Sippin' With Sin. We've got cool sections, cool segments we've grown over time, 126 episodes, but always trying to evolve the podcast, make it grow, make it better, make it, more enjoyable content for you guys and content that you guys look forward to every week, So my goals for 2025 as far as that is just keep growing it. I want to see it hit new numbers, new heights on listeners weekly, monthly listeners, Spotify followers, YouTube subs, all that stuff. I would love us to keep hitting goals, keep growing the community. You guys be excited for Wednesday evenings when we record and Wednesday mornings when the episode from the previous week comes out, all that stuff. And maybe me and Christian will brainstorm. Maybe between me and him we can find some. Dude, how sick would it be to have, like, Art the Clown on here? Like, us chat with Art the Clown and shit. Like, how badass would that be just to pick their brain? Or directors, like horror movie directors. Just in general. I'm sure if we do enough digging and between, like, connections, we could probably find ways to get in touch with, like, management or something to try to get them on for an interview somehow, probably. But yeah, I wanted to ask those questions, and I guess we'll mosey on along now that we got those. Where do you want to go from here, Christian?
I think it's time to start talking about start talking about Creature Commandos. It's time.
Christian is so ready. He's so ready. I know we could get streamers on here. That'd be easy.
We should. For sure.
We could get different, like, creators and stuff. I'm sure we could get musicians, too. That wouldn't be. And we have musicians that are nerds that we know that we could get on easily.
We got a suggestion just now, actually, to start going to cons and doing streams, like in real life, with people, interacting with people. And I think that that's a really good idea. Logistically, I'm not sure how that would work, but if we could figure that out, I would love to do those kinds of things because I think being able to talk to you guys out, just listeners in general, being able to talk to you guys out in the elements about what we like to talk about, especially streaming stuff, playing a couple of games, like that would be amazing. And another question was, did I draw those? For those of you listening, I showed a couple pieces of art that I've done over the last, few weeks. And yes, I did do those art pieces. That's all me that you saw. If you're watching this live or on YouTube, those are all me.
I would definitely like to plan more stuff like we did with the video game awards. Those that didn't know, we mentioned kind of last episode, but Christian did join. We talked. Literally, we just chatted the whole time. We watched the video game awards with the community, and it was a blast. I had a lot of fun. I think Christian had fun. Just literally shooting the shit,
absolutely.
Watching the announcements together, talking about the awards and stuff. And I definitely would like to do more stuff like that, like outside of the podcast, just to help grow the community as a whole. And yeah, but all right. So we'll move on to Creature Commandos. I did watch it this week. Christian can't yell at me. I watched all 3 episodes. I'm not going to lie. I went in because I still don't know where in the shit this come from. James Gunn is pulling some just, I don't know where. He keeps finding this stuff and he's like, hey, I'm going to bring this one out of obscurity and throw it out there. So I didn't necessarily have the highest expectations. I will say this, though, and this is, I'm kind of doing full circle back to Superman. I'm very curious for the Superman music because James Gunn is a very distinct style with his music. He usually has a really good soundtrack in the way he brings in like these older songs, if you will, to kind of set the vibe and the tone of the movie, the show. Guardians of the Galaxy, Peacekeeper, what the fuck, whatever.
Peacemaker, you had it right. It's
Yeah.
Peacemaker.
Peacekeeper Maker, you know. Peacekeeper's a damn gun from Apex. I don't know why I'm... Jesus, okay. But same thing with Creatures Commando. Like, there's a certain vibe to it, and I'm not going to lie, Christian, you're going to make fun of me. The intro kind of slaps. I kind of fuck with the intro.
It does slap.
The music, I was like, I'm kind of feeling this. So I was probably an episode and a half in, and Mrs. Sin came in and was like, what is this? And I was like, what I'm supposed to watch for Christian. And she was kind of looking, I was like, I don't know, you might want to watch it. Maybe you'll like it. I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie.
I want to know if she likes it.
She hasn't watched it.
She likes it like really bad. Oh my God.
I kind of like it, Christian.
Watch it.
I'm not going to lie. I didn't think I would.
You should. I'm glad.
But
I'm glad you like it. Like, I'm really glad.
I have to say, though, and I don't know if you're going to get this reference because I'm not sure if you watched it. You probably did. I'm about 80% sure you probably watched this. The last episode we watched, during the gory scenes, I felt like I was watching Metalocalypse.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad because I actually really like Metalocalypse. I enjoy Metalocalypse.
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably did too because it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I want to watch that most recent movie that came out this year, I think, or maybe last year.
The Metalocalypse one?
Yeah. I have to watch it. I have it somewhere to watch. But I did not write notes. I did not know that David Harbour was in this, which is pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. Also, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Rick Flag Sr., that's the dude from The Purge and the Werewolf movie, is it not?
That's him. Frank Grillo, yeah.
Okay. Making sure I was the right guy. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the dude, but I'm not going to IMDb it. I'm just going to ask Christian that way. If I'm wrong, I'm just going down, ball of flames.
He was also Crossbones in the Captain America movies.
So, do we even know that his dad was around like this before that?
So, in the comics, yes, that's how that works. But they don't explain any of that in the movies because they didn't really have a need to. But yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So pretty much I'll give you a quick rundown of characters. Like I said, no notes. You have Bride of Frankenstein, who Loki might be, or actually she's probably my favorite character, if I'm being real. I really like her. You have Gia Robot, whose only
that's correct
job is to kill Nazis, literally. You have, oh my God, what is her name? Essentially, she's Creature. Starts with an N. Nina. Right?
Yeah, that's right, Nina.
Okay. You have Nina. You have Rick Flag Sr. You have Weasel. So we got to deal with that again. That's back. Mr. Phosphorus.
That's back. Yeah. Dr. Phosphorus.
Correct. Dr. Phosphorus. Is that it? Am I missing somebody?
Yeah, that's right.
So that's your band of misfits for this.
Yeah.
And essentially, it's a Suicide Squad kind of deal. Like, hey, you guys are all under like this collar that will shock you or kill you, like the little chip or whatever. You have to go do these missions because we don't want to like, what was it? They don't want to test like or risk human life or something like that and put them out there. So using the not human, like mutant, whatever, undead specimen. Yeah.
I'll go over it.
All right. Get go to it.
You done? You ready for me to go?
James Gunn, I do have to ask, how big do you think his ego is?
Oh yeah, that man's.
I mean, the dude drew himself in the damn intro. Literally.
I mean, he didn't draw himself. The
He
people
got
who
himself drawn
actually
into the intro
animated
when
it.
he has not a damn, like, nothing in there other than created by, hey, here I am.
So if you look really carefully on the parts of the intro where he's in it, he's animated into it, typing a script. The script typically has like something on it that corresponds to the episode. So either the name, it's usually like lines from the episode, which are cool. And I only reason I know that is because I thought that I saw it, but I didn't think anything of it. And then I looked online to see if that was true, and then a bunch of people said the same thing that I said. But I didn't want to do the work that it was going to take to see what the stuff said. I'm not going to lie, it was just way too much to do, just to see. So I didn't do that stuff, but it was fun to see that happen. But yeah, keep going, man. What else you got? What else, or is that it? I didn't want to cut
Yeah, I
you
didn't
off.
write notes, but I mean, I'm enjoying it for the most part. Like, 20 something minutes is pretty fun so far.
Yeah. They're pretty short, but yeah, it's fun to see. I'm gonna go, I guess I'll go ahead then. I'll go ahead and start because I do have some notes on it. You know, not a whole lot, just
Oh
a
my
little
god.
bit. You know, no big deal. So we'll go ahead and start. Creature Commandos takes place 2 years after the Suicide Squad movie and Peacemaker. The new I noticed immediately we get the new DCU logo. That's like the golden age. Has the Superman
Yeah. Oh
breaking out
yeah, I
of the
forgot about that.
chains. Yeah, he's got the black and yellow shield on his chest like the old one, so that was cool. We see that this episode is called the first episode is called the Cobble Wobbles. I'm sorry, the Collie Wobbles is what it's called. Um, Very interesting name. James Gunn loves to do shit like that. Have weird names for shit. Deep cuts, if you will. We are in Belle Reve, which we've seen in Young Justice and a bunch of the Titans comics. It's been everywhere, but we're in Belle Reve. It's 10 a.m. and Amanda Waller is walking with Rick Flag Sr., pretty much giving him the rundown, just like she did in Suicide Squad. You see GBS News, which is from Superman. Also, I think Morgan Edge from the comics makes GBS News. Whatever, doesn't matter. But we see them talking about the Sons of Themyscira, how they've crossed into Pakistan, I think is the name of the city that they, yeah, Pakistan, that's what they call it. That's from the Superman comics, by the way, so it is a thing in the comics. The Sons of Themyscira, like, I didn't look this up, but I am 90% sure that they are literally modeled after the Proud Boys, like in real life. Obviously they're a little exaggerated, but they're definitely like 90% sure that they're modeled off after the Proud Boys, which is really funny because James Gunn likes adding like real life shit in. But anyway, I thought that was really cool. It's led by the Amazonian sorceress Cersei, which is really cool to say because the last time we talked about Cersei was Game of Thrones. But yeah, she's a Wonder Woman villain for those of you who didn't already know. Her powers are mainly like transmutation. I'm pretty sure she can teleport. Obviously, she can fly. She can shoot, blast. That's kind of her, like she, anything you would expect a sorceress to do, she can do. But like I said, mostly is mutation. So like if you've ever watched Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, what they are aiming to do in that show is what she actually just does with magic. That's her whole shit. So that's her thing. Um, Real quick because I had to explain this to somebody else. Amazons would leave the island because all the Amazons in this world live on Themyscira, and people are like, "Well, how do Amazons make more Amazons?" Let me answer that real fast. Amazons leave the island, meet up with dudes, get knocked up, and then they literally just kill the fucking dudes after the deed is done. No witnesses. And if they have any male babies, they just straight abandon those babies. They only take the female babies that they have. It's crazy, but that's how you get more women in Themyscira. So, bam. Anyway, due to Waller's daughter outing her in the Peacemaker season 1 show, she can't use humans, so she's turning to non-humans, which is how we have Task Force M, which stands for mutants. I was gonna say metahumans, but they can't use humans at all, so everybody on the team isn't legally a human anymore or registered as a human anymore. So that's why she can use these people. That's why she has this team. Yes, it's from the comic books. Yes, it's a deep cut. Yes, it's a super fucking old team. Blah blah blah. We're back in it. So we're kind of caught up now. So I can keep going. The Creature Commandos have been around for like 50 years. Um, Weasel was. Hold on. I wrote something down about him and I forget. Weasel was a Firestorm villain. For those of you who don't know who Firestorm is, don't worry about it. It's another DC superhero. But Weasel started off as a villain for Firestorm, which is really funny. Um, the OG origin of Weasel was a guy in a costume. It wasn't like this mutated fucking Weasel person that we see in the show and in the Suicide Squad movie. But the new version of Weasel is like this weird creature that we've seen. The New 52 uh I think the New 52 comics made up this version of Weasel, and we kind of just stuck with him because fans liked him, like because he was all weird and gross and shit. So, having somebody in a Weasel costume is lame as hell. So, like that's obviously that wins out. You have Doctor Phosphorus, who's a Batman villain. Um, when we meet the bride, she's reading Young Love, which is an old school DC romance comic. I thought was really fucking funny. Weasel, Dr. Phosphorus, and the bride go to attack Amanda Waller like as soon as they see her on sight, but she shocks them, of course, with her phone. She has a control on there. So I thought that was really cool to see. So we know why they can't touch her. We get that immediately when the episode starts. We meet the local military in Pokolistan that's they're escorting the team to the princess. We spot the sons. They know that they're going. The sons of Themyscira know that we have now new protectors for the princess. They're doing like reconnaissance. It's weird. They all sound really stupid and bro-esque. So that's really funny to see. Weasel pisses himself for some reason. I thought that was kind of funny because Dr. Phosphorus is voiced by Alan Tudyk, who's the voice of like so many fucking people and characters right now. He's literally everywhere. Um, what else happened right after that? Once they're at the castle, they make fun of Rick Flag's middle name, which is Bill. Like not William, just straight up Bill. So that was really funny. Alexi pranks Flag after he bows. He says the soldiers have to kill him because he bowed the wrong way, but he's just fucking with him. And we notice that all of their references are super dated. He mentions the Jamie Kennedy experiment, the 1985 Super Bowl shuffle. What's that? He mentions that. Where's the beef, which is also from like 1984, I'm pretty sure. They have a feast after this. Flag apologizes for the team's lack of manners. He says that prison food gives him the collie bubbles, which is the name of the episode. I thought that was really cool. Collie bubbles, for those of you who don't know, just means like stomach pain or like the heebie-jeebies kind of. That's what that means. Um, the queen we meet is all like fucked up and drugged and old and just drooling and shit, and that's fucking nasty. As soon as we saw that, I was like, I bet the princess is actually evil. I immediately thought that. I wrote it down in all caps on my notes for those of you who can't see. Um, Also, trying real hard to fuck. Like, I don't know how you felt about that sin, but like
She
immediately
wanted it.
she was trying to. Yeah, she wanted that D real bad. And I was like, she's real sneaky. This is weird. I don't know how I feel about this. She's also into older men. But I think that like there might be some weird kind of body switch situation going on with her and the queen that we saw because um, she does say that she's into older men. She values like really old shit, like that brooch that she was talking about when she was trying to seduce Rick Flag Sr. I just either she just has like the worst pillow talk ever, or she's just like a really old soul, meaning she's not supposed to be in that body. I don't fucking know, but I don't trust her at all. I think she's evil as shit, but whatever. Moving on. Rick Flag like rejects her advances like immediately. The bride sneaks out. Nina follows her. They go to Victor Frankenstein's castle. Dr. Phosphorus tries to steal the Argus phone that Rick Flag Sr. has while he's asleep, but he's making so much fucking noise. He also is wearing a hoodie, and I'm just thinking to myself, how is that not burning up? Like, did you think about that
Yeah.
when that scene happened? Like, how did that hoodie not burn up? and he's wearing gloves so he doesn't burn up all the shit that he's touching. But his hoodie isn't. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a comic book logic. It whatever. It's a man on fire, so who cares? So they get into a fight, which the animation is sick for this. I love the way that this fight looks. Dr. Phosphorus is very durable. During the fight, it looks like he gets his neck broken and just pops it right back into place. Like, I don't know if that's exactly what happened or not, but that's what it looked like to me. So he's durable as fuck. And I thought that the fight was really cool. I had to think about how to fight him. He ended up using like oven mitts to fight, I think. So like it was really cool. I really liked seeing that scene. It was nice. This mysterious woman calls uh, Frankenstein's monster essentially about the bride. He's also super rich and owns a yacht. I thought that was insane. He's just got bitches. Frankenstein just sitting down on a yacht full of bitches, just dancing, and he's worried about like, dude. I just thought that was really funny. That's the kind of James Gunn humor that I want to see in these shows. And after that, I'm pretty sure the episode ends, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's how it ends. So, and I think I just kept on writing notes and we just moved on. The next episode is called The Tourmaline Necklace. Flag is getting treated by the princess. Nina and the bride are in the castle. She flashes back to her own birth. And then she says, I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but she says, it sucks to remember your birth, being born as nothing into something. Like, I couldn't imagine how that is. And she remembers it like that. Like, that really sucks. So, like, essentially, we'll get into it. Victor Frankenstein, the doctor, makes her as a bride to Frankenstein's monster, who we'll just call Eric, because I think he has the name Eric in the show. So he made a bride for Eric, but Eric is like a straight up incel, and he's like he just wants her to be his immediately, but he's not taking into consideration that she has to learn literally everything as a child would, and he's so aggressive and overly eager to just like be with her that he's not giving her the chance to be alive. I guess it's really fucking weird. But anyway, Victor, the doctor, teaches the bride how to be alive. Eric is an incel and a little whiny bitch, which is very true. That's how he's acting. Um, Victor and the bride get emotionally attached to each other, and he gives her the tourmaline necklace in this episode, which is how it gets its name, which is the first thing she finds beauty in.
It's not the only thing he
And
gives
then,
her.
yeah, it's not because, yeah, they be fucking later on in this episode, which just reminded me so much of the plot of Penny Dreadful. I don't know if you remembered that, but that's exactly what I was thinking. Did you feel that when you were watching it?
I didn't think about Penny Dreadful, no, but makes sense.
As soon as I realized what was happening, I was like, "Oh, this is Penny Dreadful, just animated." But though, we don't have to get into it. We can talk about Penny Dreadful later. But it definitely made me want to rewatch it. So, which I tried to find it. I think it's only streaming on Hulu and Paramount Plus, which actually it might not even be on Hulu, but it's on Paramount Plus, which I don't have access to. So I might have to just buy it because I do really want to watch it after watching these episodes. But anyway, Eric rips Victor apart off screen. The bride hates him for this. They fight. She burns him and then runs away. Um, he pretty much chases the bride over the next 200 years. We see them in 1852, in 1880, in 1895, in 1912, 1923, 1941, 1964, 1991. I think 1991 is the last interaction that they had, if I'm not mistaken. We also see an Ultra Bunny shirt on Rick Flag, which is which is a James Gunn thing. It's in like all of his movies somewhere, like his little thing. Like some directors do that. That's his thing. I know that the director of what's the movie? The Jesus Christ, what are those movies called? Evil Dead. I can't think of his name right now, but the directors for the original Evil Dead films, he has his car in all those movies, which is in all of his movies. He has that car. I think is really funny. But anyway, moving on. Uh, in these scenes, we do straight up see Shaggy from Scooby Doo at Woodstock. I don't know if you caught that cameo, but Shaggy from Scooby Doo was straight up in the background. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I loved
Mystery
seeing that. I thought
machine
that was
looking ass
hilarious.
vehicle too.
Yes. The bride mentions that Nina used to be a human, so I thought that was really cool because in the comics, in New 52 anyway, she was a human doctor at first and then turned herself into that on purpose. So I thought that was really cool. Red Flag Senior and the princess totally fuck at this point in the show. The bride and Nina are attacked by Cersei and the Sons. We get this amazing action sequence that just kind of shows off the bride's enhanced strength and her combat skills. She's a fucking badass, and I love it. And it's really easy for her to be your favorite character. He also beats the dog piss out of Cersei in this fight, which is awesome. But Cersei shows off her transmutation magic. She turns bullets into butterflies, kind of like what Doctor Strange did to Thanos in the Infinity War movie. So that was really cool. We see that the bride is about to straight finish Cersei at the end of the fight, but she transmutates her arms into the wacky inflatable tube guys, the arms, which is hilarious. And then she beats her to death and pushes her off of the mansion. And the bride falls off the castle, lands next to Nina, who just got shot in her little fishbowl and can't breathe. And then the episode ends. Um, because we had 3 episodes and we missed a week talking about it, I went ahead and wrote the notes down for the third episode, which is the latest one at the time of this recording. We get a new episode at the time of this recording tomorrow. So I'm very excited about that. But episode 3, I'm going to go over these notes really fast to kind of conserve a little time. It's called Cheers to the Tin Man. It picks up right after where the last episode left off. We see the Creature Commandos and Alexei rush to the castle. GI Robot, who has formed a bond with Nina, is actually showing signs of worry for her, which I thought was really cool. Then he flashes back to his first friends. We meet Sergeant Rock from the comics. Also, real quick, Daniel Craig is currently in talks to play Sergeant Rock in a future project, so I thought that was really cool. In the comics, GI Robot 1 wasn't actually a part of Easy Company like he is in the show, but the show made him a part of Easy Company, which is a really good edit by James Gunn, I think, because it just makes the story make way more sense. You don't have to worry about reading a bunch of different shit and learning all this other stuff. Like, I just thought that was cool. We see Little Sure Shot, the sniper character, reveal an ambush too late. So a couple of people get killed, and then GI Nazi takes out GI Nazi, Christ. GI Robot takes out
Wow.
all the Nazis. I know, it's ridiculous. He takes out all the Nazis, which is really cool. He saves most of the team. Later on, a soldier makes a toast to the Tin Man, which is what they're calling him. And we see GI Robot smile, which was really cute. And then the intro pops in. I thought that was a really cool way to start the episode. I don't know how you felt about GI Robot smiling, but I thought that was really cute. Um, moving on.
Gunn always kind of
Um,
has a way of like doing that, like the intro into the episodes, like how he introduces it all.
I do really like that. I do really like the way he does that. That's cool. I hope that continues throughout the season. We go back to present day. The bride is found tied up with her mouth taped, and she's healed. I don't know if you peeped that, but her arms are back to normal. She's fully healed. Her eye isn't swollen anymore. I thought that was really cool. And also very telling, if you're paying attention, very telling. GI immediately starts to look for Nina.
Yep.
He finds her upstairs in a bathtub, unharmed. I think she might be naked though.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty sure
can't
she was naked.
remember.
I'm almost positive
Okay.
she was naked.
Okay, there we go. But she is unharmed in a bathtub full of water because remember last episode, her fishbowl got shot. She couldn't breathe. So clearly Cersei saved her, also saved the bride. There's a reason for that. We'll move on. She has barbed wire across the top of the bathtub so she can't escape. GI Robot just picks up the whole fucking bathtub and walks her to the big van that they're in. Rick Flag Sr. realizes that it's a trap to kill the princess because nobody is guarding her anymore, which isn't true. She still has guards. They're just not as capable as the Creature Commandos and Alexei. So they rush back to do that. which is really cool. And we get another flashback. GI Robot is on a talk show, which is kind of weird. But we meet Dr. William Magnus. William Magnus, I'll talk about him just in a second. But he upgrades GI Robot off screen, of course, and believes that there is more to him. He sees signs of sentience in GI Robot, so like true AI is what he's saying. Um, through studying GI Robot's like internal sentience, he'll eventually create what's called the Metal Men. They are liquid metal, like quirky superheroes. Something that I fully expect James Gunn to make a movie or TV show out of. Like, I swear to God, he's going to do it. Also, I looked it up just to make sure, but apparently James Gunn fucking loves robots, especially the Metal Men. I looked that up, and it's like all over his old shit that he used to make before he made like Marvel movies and shit. I thought that was really cool to see, but fully expect that to be a thing. But anyway, the Metal Men, for those of you who don't know, really quick in a nutshell, are sentient metal superheroes that are made by that same doctor we saw, Dr. William Magnus. They all have their own special power. They all have their own personalities. Gold is the leader. Iron, there's lead, tin, mercury, and platinum. Platinum is the only metal person on the team that is modeled after a woman. So much so that Platinum believes that she is a real woman and prefers to be called Tina instead of Platinum. We later get Copper, who was added. She's also a female character, but I mean, her name's Copper. Like, it's not as cool. Tin or Tina. Sorry, I said Tin. I meant Tina or Platinum falls in love with Doctor Magnus, the kind of the same way that like the bride loves Doctor Frankenstein, but without the schmecks. So there's that. But aside from
GI
that,
Robot is voiced by Sean Gunn, right?
yeah, GI Robot is voiced by Sean Gunn, and he voices Weasel.
Okay, thought so.
Yeah, so yeah, his brother is definitely all up in the show. He was also
We kind of
the
knew that though when they
mocap
announced he was
actor.
taking over, that it would be like them two together doing a lot of shit.
Yeah, he's in a lot of his shit. He was the mocap actor for Rocket Raccoon. He was the voice of Weasel and the mocap actor for Weasel in the Suicide Squad movie. Like, he's all over the place in his brother's stuff. So he's going to be employed as long as James Gunn is employed. So we're good. Back to the present. Cersei and the sons are attacking the castle and hunting for the princess. And we flash back again to what I'm assuming to be the 2000s. We meet a collector, Sam, who is clearly voiced by Michael Rooker, which I thought was really funny because he's in all of James Gunn's shit too. He buys GI Robot, but if you look around, you see a lot of Confederate memorabilia around. Like, there's some jackets and stuff that's all Confederate, so that's telling. Um, Sam and GI Robot watch The Dirty Dozen and hang out with all his fucking cats. They mention meeting in Hub City, or they're having a meeting, quotes, in Hub City that they're going to. Which, fun fact, Hub City is where The Question is from, which is one of my favorite DC characters. I fucking love The Question. Talked about him before on the podcast. Every time we talk about Injustice, he's always a character I wish that was in the game. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, James Gunn, please do The Question. If somehow you hear this or other people hear this and just say this all the time, please make a Question show or a movie, something. I need it in my veins right now. Moving on. During this meeting, GI Robot sees a bunch of tattoos relating to Hitler on people. He sees like the 88, which is two H's, which just means Heil Hitler, which is crazy. I just found that out yesterday at the time of this recording, by the way, because I didn't know what 88 meant. I had to look it up. He sees swastikas, all kinds of shit around. The Celtic cross, bunch of shit. Anyway, once he notices what's going on, he straight up blasts Sam right in the face and kills all 32 members of this meeting. And then we switch back to present day again. Flag tells GI that the attackers are indeed Nazis and to do his thing. And GI Robot fucking cleans house. We see his upgrade. He's like hovering in the air and shit. He kills almost everybody. Then he gets blasted and destroyed by Cersei. And we have a flashback again of GI walking into his cell. We see the Shaggy Man, the Reaper, Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man, and the Crimson Centipede, who is a Wonder Woman villain. I thought it was really cool. Then we go back to the present again. Nina has GI's head because he's like exploded into a million pieces at this point. She's crying. She's really sad that he's dead. Dead in quotes. The princess unlocks the safe to get a gun, but she gets found by Cersei, and she's about to get killed. And then fucking Weasel comes in and attacks Cersei brutally, like fucks her up. And then Dr. Phosphorus burns her fucking face with his hand, dude. That shit was brutal as hell. I loved all of that. Then the bride tells Flag that, you know, he wanted monsters, he got monsters. So once they essentially cuff her and they have her subdued, Cersei tells them that they've doomed the world and that they're fucking idiots, and the episode ends. And like I said before, all bets to me are saying that the princess is evil as shit. But we'll see what happens on the next episode that airs at the time of this recording tomorrow. Sin, what did you think about those 3 episodes? I love them. I need more. I want to know what you think.
Like I said, I went in with very low expectations because I've never heard of this, which is right up James Gunn's alley for the not overly done or as widely known groups and characters. But I think so far, 3 episodes in, I think it's a pretty strong start to his universe. Makes me excited. Like I said, his music choices, I really enjoy those in them. The animation's really cool. I really enjoy it. The voice acting and the story's interesting. I'm enjoying learning about these characters. It's fun. It's gory. It's rough around the edges and dark and right up what I need. So I'm actually enjoying it. I'm looking forward to it so far. So good start. Hopefully this transitions over to Superman, which I'm assuming will be his first big movie with DC. His like flagship movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So hopefully we keep getting some good stuff from him. Fingers crossed, because DC desperately needs some wins after shit show that has been the last, God, dude, I don't even know how long at this point. Never ending.
A while, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, though, man, it's pleasantly surprising. I guess that's the way we put it. Hopefully
right,
you get it right. One thing we did not mention, though, that you mentioned, but I didn't want to derail us while you were going over it. A new Evil Dead is in the works.
I did see that. Forgot to write it
Evil
down,
Dead
burns.
Evil Dead burned. Something burn. Something about a burn.
Something about burning.
Yeah, something involving burning in the Evil Dead. Different director. We'll see. I know they're expanding the universe and the franchise with the different Necronomicons and all that stuff. So, who knows? I mean, I'm for it. Give me more Evil Dead. Just hopefully you give us in the vein that we've been getting Evil Deads. I'm for it.
I mean, I want to see the trailer. That's what I need. I need to see the trailer and I'll know.
All right. Do we have anything else, or is it time to talk about things?
Time to go to the movies.
Time to go to movies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the episode where we roll the projector and get ready for our cinema for this week. So here we go. Get your popcorn, get your candies, get your drinks. Use the bathroom beforehand, and please shut off all cellular devices and use polite manners in the theater. Please, no talking. No texting, no calling, no nothing. And enjoy the movie. I could go to sleep to this sound. It's a very soothing sound. All right. This week's cinema. We doubled it up for your holly jolly festive enjoyment. We watched Black Christmas from 2006 because we will not watch the other one. If I watch the other one, I will potentially headbutt something. And Krampus from 2015. So,
that's right.
Where do we start?
Where would you like to start? You tell me, and I'll go in that way.
Let's do Black Christmas. It's because we did the Black Christmas last week. So let's go Black Christmas.
Okay. Black Christmas 2006. Yep. Listen, I've seen this movie before, but I've actually only seen it once, and I didn't remember anything from the movie. I remembered somebody was yellow, and it was weird. That's all I remember. So going into this movie, it's very different from the original. Somebody was yellow. That's all I knew. And I thought that I was confusing that with that yellow bastard from what's that movie called? Sin City. I was confusing him with that character for a minute.
No.
So I was like, oh man, yeah. I was not. Yeah, it's a lot. Where do I even start with this movie? So
this movie is definitely a product of the 2000s. And what I mean by that is this is not a good comparison, but the 2000s like to do the like quick cut scenes with like sound effects, like quick cut transition scenes, kind of like a Evil Dead will do, where it's like, oh, here's this weapon, and here's this, and it'll go like, shh, 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 and show like the different scenes in like that fashion, like real quick. This movie did that a couple times, and I was like, okay. Also, it definitely. How long was this movie?
It wasn't long. It was like 92.
It could have been a little shorter. It could have. Look, they would not die. It was to the point. Okay. Wait, no, I do have notes for this movie. Hold up. I do have notes. I just thought about it. Because I remember bitching at one point in this movie, just like, this girl got no damn sense. You hold up. Where are my notes? I don't even know where the hell I put them. That's not a good start. I might have found it. I found it. Okay. Yep, here we go. All right, here's my notes. Very short, abbreviated notes. Christian, I'm sure you're going to like them. It tastes like chicken because it's chicken.
Yeah.
Billy's parents kind of deserved it. Milk and mom cookies.
Bro, first off, listen. How the actual fuck did he make cookies out of this woman's flesh? Bro?
Don't question his cooking ability.
He somehow perfectly cut out her skin with a cookie cutter, put it in the oven on what I'm assuming was 350 degrees, and made crunchy ass flesh cookies.
Nah, bro.
Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Don't question him. Next thing, father, brother, Billy. He is father, brother, Billy.
Father, brother, dude. I forgot that was a plot point in this movie. And when I got there, I was like, what the actual fuck is happening? What am I watching right now?
Okay.
What is this?
Next note. For Christian's going to keep going in on every one of them. Look, it got better as the scene went on, but the first time they do the shower floor Billy peephole, that CGI was hot trash. Because afterwards, it's actually like a guy's eye in a peephole. The first time, it was like the most cheesy ass CGI putting his eye there. I was like, oh my God, what is that? All right, next note I had, Billy is a straight up scurrier. That dude is hauling some ass in some walls. Like, that dude is like Spider-Man in the game crawling up some shit. The icicle death was a yes. Billy lives. These are my notes still. And so does Agnes. Because, yeah. Okay, here's the one that made me think of this. This dude has lived through everything you guys have thrown at him. Like, all this other stuff. This chick is running and hits him one time on the arm with a crutch. And she's like, oh, I got him. I can get away now. One little last crutch, one hit, and she's like, it's done. I'm going to escape. No, bitch, it's not done. You're stupid.
No, bitch.
Oh, my God. That made me so mad. I'm like, why didn't you just keep swinging? Let's do like the signs and swing away. Why are you just going to hit one time and run?
Yeah.
He's done come to the hospital, and he's crawling around on the ceiling, and you're just going to hit him once with a crutch and be like, oh, take that aluminum crutch.
Dude, she even had the audacity to have a one-liner. She was like, Merry Christmas, motherfucker.
Oh my
Just
God.
like, shut up.
It made me
Dude,
mad.
shut up.
Billy gets impaled on the hospital's Christmas tree, which is a strong ass Christmas tree. Just saying.
Oh, dude, the strongest Christmas tree known to Jesus.
Okay, that's all my
That
notes. I didn't write down much because I was.
I started writing notes for this and then quickly realized that this wasn't one of those movies that I should be writing notes for.
Okay.
Quickly realized. So, dog. First off, why is Billy yellow? They don't really explain why he's yellow. He's just yellow. I'm like, okay, cool. At first I was like, oh, it's just jaundice, but nah, this motherfucker is yellow as shit. I was like, okay, this movie is 2000 as fuck. It came out in 2006. It was clearly filmed in 05. You know what a movie's gonna be like if it's got Katie Cassidy in it. She's like the main character in this movie. For those of you who don't know, Katie Cassidy is in like every fucking early mid 2000s remake ever. She's in she's in the terrible Nightmare on Elm Street remake movie. She's in this one. She's in When a Stranger Calls remake. She's in oh fuck, what else is she in? She's you know what? I don't think she's in too much more than that, to be honest with you. I know she's in those, and then she's also in for the real ones. She's in the CW Arrow show. She plays Laurel Lance, who at some point becomes Black Canary. It's a lot. Anyway, she's in all that stuff. That's where you know her from. But her acting is mediocre, literally at best. All the acting in this movie is pretty fucking abysmal, except for like Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She has a couple scenes that aren't absolute dog shit in this movie. She plays Heather. I don't remember anybody else's fucking name in this movie. Michelle Trachtenberg, I think is her name. Trachtenberg. She's just Dawn from Buffy to me. She's always gonna be Dawn from Buffy. I love her to death, but she's in this movie, and I thought wrong. Obviously, I thought she fucking lived in this movie. She gets fucked up, bro. She gets absolutely fucking obliterated by I don't even think it's by Billy. She gets killed by Agnes, I'm pretty sure. But like it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. But yeah, you got Katie Cassidy in this movie. You got Kristen Cloak in this movie. You got Michelle Trachtenberg in this movie. You got Mary Elizabeth Winstead for some reason is in this movie. It's insane. Jessica Harmon's even in this fucking movie. All these people are in this movie, and it doesn't matter. So much stupid shit happens. There's a bunch of dumbass lines. There's a bunch of dumbass one-liners. There's a bunch of dumbass characters in this movie. You got the one guy who's fucking Katie Cassidy's character. What's her fucking name? The main character. Her name is Kelly. Kelly. You got Kelly's boyfriend shows up, but like in the movie, we see another character who I can't remember her name. She dies. Like she's like the first fucking person to get killed in this movie. She's watching a video of her getting just her back blown out by Kelly's boyfriend in this movie. And I'm like, first off, why is that on your computer? Why are you watching it over and fucking over again? And knowing that she's dating this dude. Like what is going on? And because she gets killed, that video just happens to be just on her computer, paused perfectly so you can see both of their faces. It's just bro, this movie was just doing the most, dude. Oh my god. I was so much stupid shit was happening in this movie. And I'm the one who recommended we watch it. Like this is my fault. So that happens. The kills in this movie are like gory, but like not even like that much fun. Like there's a lot of eyeball shit in this movie. Like Billy just takes people's eyeballs out and eats them for some reason. And every time he does, it's like Eli Roth directed this fucking movie because it's like all these squelchy noises and
Is
like
it supposed to be
pus
after
popping out.
the original one? Is this supposed to like pick up?
I don't fucking know.
Because I was wondering that. I was like, they're talking about Billy and all these gifts. I'm like, do they know about the original killer that we never saw? Like, is this supposed to like be a continuation? But the timeline doesn't add up if you look at because they're saying like however many years. And I was like, well, that doesn't add up from the 70s to 2005 or 6.
They took the original Billy character and turned it into this thing, which like whatever. But this movie is definitely one of those movies that came out in the mid '90s that people watched and like got some scares out of it. It's not as many jump scares as I expected it to be, which thank fucking God. There's a couple, but like really not a lot. Most of this is just like quick, cutty, gory action stuff with some really stupid liners. The best part of this movie was titties. I'm not even gonna
So
lie
what
to
you're
you.
saying is this movie is a 2000s horror movie
Yes, 1,000% is
because
a
there is a
2000s horror movie.
lot of movies like that in the 2000s. We kind of went through a patch where at the time we were starving for any kind of nourishment that we were like, hell yes, this is awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it's very true. There and like, uh, I don't even like hate this movie, but I don't really obviously I don't like this movie. But
Did you
there's
like it
so much
more
going.
thinking nostalgic of it until you rewatched it?
Yeah, it yes. I before I
I thought it
watched
was
this
way
movie, I
better
was
than
so
it
excited.
was when I watched it. I was like, oh shit.
Dog, dude, watching before I pressed play, I was like, oh man, I'm so excited to watch this shit. I've been wanting to watch this for a couple of weeks now. We finally get to watch it. Cut this shit on, and I was just like, people love this movie, and I don't know why, because it's not good. And like, I like stupid, shitty movies. Don't get me wrong. Like everybody loves one or two good, stupid, shitty movies, but like this one, like I said, would I watch this again? Yes, but not this year, not next year. I'd have to watch this in like 2026 maybe. I need some time away from this motherfucker because the shit that happens in this is just so dumb, dude. Oh my god, everybody's a fucking idiot.
But you
Everybody
know what
is,
the
and
sad
it's
part
not
about
like
that is?
typical. What's that?
This is better than 2019 one.
Yes, it is. I would watch this 3 more times before I watch that movie. I'm not
That's
even
the
gonna lie.
bad part. That is the really fucking bad part about that is all the bad shit you're saying. The more recent one is still significantly worse than this one. It's
the
even
the
dumber.
most egregious thing, the most egregious thing about this movie, the thing that makes this movie bad. I'm not gonna lie, and you've said it before, but I promise you, I've been shitting on this movie, but here, this is the thing that makes me actually not like the movie. It's 92 minutes long, but it feels like it's 2.5 hours
Yeah.
because there are 3 parts of this movie that just fucking drag, right? They just drag on. We're doing a lot of flashbacks, a lot of cuts, and it's weird. And then you get the weird, like, brother fucker incesty scene, which it's so fucking disgusting. Like, just unnecessary. We don't need an Agnes character at all. And there's a whole ass character in this movie they just put in for a red herring for shits and gigs. And I can't stand when movies do shit like that. So we get I don't even remember her name. What's her fucking name? There's this character that shows up that you think is gonna be Agnes for a second. And she's oh god, what's that woman's name? Oh my god, I can't
The
remember.
sister?
Nobody's no, nobody's name is rememberable in this, just so that we're on the same. It's really stupid. Uh I think her name is Eve in the movie, but yeah, her name's Eve. Eve in the movie. She shows up for like one scene. She gives she gives one of the girls a present, and it's the fucking crystal unicorn thing that takes somebody's eye out later. But it's that character. She shows up with the big old glasses and the ponytail or whatever, or pigtail. Well, I don't fucking know. I don't remember any of these women in this movie. But she shows up, she gives somebody a gift, and she's like the nerd character. And they show her like real close up and they linger on her a lot on the camera because they want you to remember her face. They want you to think that she's somebody, and you never see her again because she's fucking dead off screen. And they show like her severed head for a second. And I was like, what the fuck? Why? That was like 5 minutes of the movie that we didn't need. No fucking reason at all. They just needed another death, but they didn't even show the fucking thing. It was stupid. I fucking hated that shit. It just pissed me off. I was so upset. I was like, stop this. This is stupid. We're just doing dumb shit. So that scene of the movie was really annoying. The why do we need to see Billy's parents fucking and then the dad can't get it up because he's got like whiskey dick or something. He falls asleep and then she goes to the attic where they keep Billy locked up and then she just like gets on top of him and just finishes the job. I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And Agnes, the character, like loses an eye early on. Like it's stupid. The fucking main characters don't die for some reason. It doesn't make any fucking sense. They're just like super mutants for some reason. And then finally, I think Agnes gets killed with a defibrillator, which is the same exact scene from fucking Scream 4. So that's there. And then we get Billy finally dies by getting impaled by a Christmas tree, which we've already said is the strongest Christmas tree in the fucking planet, on the fucking planet, excuse me. Just a lot of stupid shit happening in this movie. Oh god, this movie made me tired because I was just asking so many fucking questions. I was like, why are we doing this? Why is this happening? Who is this bitch? When did they die? Like I just oh god.
But the movie is on a par with 2000 movies, so
it is. It is. Like I said, not the worst movie I've ever seen. This movie is just stressful. It's stressful not because you're worried for the characters, but because it's that dumb. It's like watching somebody do something really stupid and not know that they're just fucking up, and you really want to help them, but you know you can't because they're not going to listen to you. It's like that. Oh my god, dude, it's a lot. But like I said, 92 minutes, not very long. It just feels long. The music is ridiculous.
Feels like it's about 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Dude, if you take a shot every time you hear the Sugar Plum Fairy like music, you'll be destroyed by the end of this movie.
Oh
destroyed. God. It's like we hear that shit almost more than we hear Evil Dies Tonight and Halloween Ends. Like it's or kills. It's ridiculous. But anyway, that's that movie. We can move on.
What do you rate it?
What did you rank it? Rate it? Out of oh Jesus. Out of 10, I would probably give it shit, man. I don't know. 3 or 4 stars. I don't know. Out of 5, I would give it like 2 stars.
I'm gonna say it gets a 4 or 5 to. You could sway me to a 5, maybe, but that's pushing it. That's pushing.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
it's not the worst thing I've seen. We've watched way worse on cinema, but like you, when I pushed play, I was like, man, I remember this being pretty solid. Like when I watched it, I'm pretty sure I watched this before I watched the original too. So I was like, I'm kind of into this. Like this is gonna be pretty good. And then I watched it, I was like, damn, this is dated and not what I remember. And wow, it
is very dated and not in a good way.
I don't think it's definitely not aging well with the times, I guess. It has some cool scenes. That's why it doesn't get boo-boo shoes. It's not the worst thing, but it is
it's not
a very long 90 minutes.
It's not good. It's like the longest fucking 90 minutes. Oh my god, dude.
But
you know, let's move on. Let's move on.
It's better than the recent one because the recent one somehow managed to be way worse. I remember just thinking the recent one was just so stupid. It made me mad. But we'll move on to the next one because I'm sure Christian's not had enough madness. One of our favorite guys who has one of our favorite movies in Trick or Treat. This is his project that he had to do, and that will be Krampus from 2015. I'm very curious to hear Christian's thoughts.
Let me hear yours first, and I'll tell you what I think.
I mean, I did not write notes on this. I think it's first and foremost, Krampus' design is awesome. Although literally it's my mask. Like a little better version, but the jaw not moving really that much or doing anything and just kind of being stuck in that state.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of bugs me a little bit. I would like to see it like maybe him move it and bring it back up a little bit. Just to give a little more realism to the character. I think I don't know how I feel about Krampus's the fuck what does he call him? Krampus's what does he call them? Helpers. There we go, helpers. Where you essentially have like a gingerbread, this damn angel baby thing, a huge like Jack-in-the-Box snake thing, a bear, and then the elves are a whole nother ball game. I think the movie's not awful for the first part. again, I really like Krampus, and less is more, especially once you get close-ups of like his face and it doesn't really move as much. Like his eyes and stuff move, but the face doesn't move. The end scene gets a little weird. Like it's fine at first when they're doing like the whole like all of them and like we've got your family kind of deal, but then once like essentially hell opens up, I'm like, okay, this is just we're spiraling a bit here. Like where the hell are we going? The snow globe element is pretty cool. Um, the acting, I mean, that family got on my nerves. The cousins that come over.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have notes, so I'm just kind of spitballing right now.
I mean, I can kind of hop in if you're cool.
Yeah, like it's got moments, definitely some parts where I'm like, but I don't really know the point of the helpers other than just Michael likes to add shit like that, extra shit. I think.
Yeah. Did anybody fucking die in this movie?
Yeah, kinda. I'm
Who died?
assuming.
Who died?
Are they actually dead in the snow globe?
Nah. I'm talking about true death. Did anybody like
Are they dead in
get
the snow
killed?
globe though? Is that like an afterlife? Like what? Because that's kind of vague how they did that. Because the one kid got like yeeted into the fucking hell, and people got chewed up, and then all of a sudden we're all happy having Christmas. So essentially, your hell is wearing a snow globe, living through Christmas every day. So what? I'm very.
Oh shit.
So is this punishment or is it like?
Yeah, look to me it seemed like a punishment. It didn't seem like they were actually dead. I don't think a single fucking person died in this movie. I think it was everybody just got captured. You know what I mean? Like they got kidnapped and then put into snow globe hell. I don't fucking know, but let me hop in real quick.
All right, go.
I didn't write notes either, but I think let me tell you what I would have done first. What would have been better, I think, is this movie being an anthology movie, kind of like Trick or Treat, but being told by different members of the family their interactions with this Krampus character and what happened. And then at the end of the movie, we find out that they're in the fucking Krampus snow globe. I think that would have been much cooler. So, for an example, you have the fucking main kid, right? We get his telling of the story. Then you can have him getting interrupted before he finishes, right? And then the mom tells her story, and then the dad chimes in and tells his version, and then we get the shitty little girls telling them their story. Like I think that would have been cooler if we got that, and then like the grandma cuts in to tell her,
He probably didn't want to do something like that
previous
because he just
story.
did it with Trick or Treat, and he probably didn't want to be like labeled. Would have been cooler, yeah, but like he didn't want to like, I guess, write himself into like a stereotype.
No, I totally understand, and I get that because of that reason. But the thing is, with this movie, you have parts that are really cool, right? Just kind of like with Black Christmas, there are parts of Black Christmas 2006 that were cool, right? Like a lot of the eyeball shit was kind of interesting. Having Billy be yellow for no reason was interesting because it's memorable, right? Uh, just little things like that were interesting. But in this movie, Krampus is interesting, right? Before you see him is interesting. Like seeing him from a distance, seeing the hooves, him like running on buildings and shit, jumping and all that stuff, like that's cool. Seeing his little helpers, even though they were like practically all fucking CGI,
Yeah.
and that just takes me completely out of it. Like parts of that were cool, but like when you have a creature, right, that's kind of creepy and a lot of CGI, but then it becomes like this. It opens its mouth and it's like this really weird tongue situation. It takes me out. It's no longer scary at that point. But this movie is rated like what, PG-13, right? Isn't this
I think.
PG-13?
Yeah, because there's not. I don't think there's really any language in it.
There's no language. There's hardly any blood, if any. So like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like Poltergeist style, like PG-13 style movie. And I get that you make a lot of money that way. A lot of people go see it. However, with that happening, there's a lot in this movie that just doesn't work for me. Like the CGI in this movie, for the most part, doesn't work. When you finally see Krampus and he has the weird fucking jaw that you were talking about that doesn't move, and it looks like a still puppet. Like that doesn't work. And they show that scene a couple of times with the mouth like that. Doesn't work. The ending of this doesn't really work, right? The reasoning for a lot of this doesn't work. The Krampus ornament that we see all throughout the movie doesn't really work. It would have worked if we only saw it once and then again at the end of the movie. To like we see it at the beginning of the movie to let us know that they're already in the fucking snow globe, and then at the end of the movie to remind the main character, oh shit, we're in the snow globe, and then we see it, the audience see it happen. That would have been cool. But just there's too much in this that's not fun to watch. One thing I can say though, even though these people are extreme exaggerations of our family members on Christmas and whatnot, they did seem, for the most part, like actual people. I did like the fact that they don't get along. They give each other shit. They practically hate each other. But over the course of the movie, we see them becoming more and more of a family unit. I did enjoy that part. That was interesting to see. It was interesting to see Krampus from a distance, right? Like I did like that. It was interesting that his little helpers were like typical Christmas themed things, right? Like I did enjoy some of those parts a lot, but when you watch the movie as a whole, the movie feels really long, like the last one did. It's not as satisfying. People love it, and I'm glad that they love it, but I don't love this movie. I remember watching this the very first time thinking, man, that's not really what I wanted, but I'm glad people liked it. Maybe we'll get more Krampus themed shit, but we didn't really. Most of the Krampus stuff that we ended up getting was like B movie stuff or shit that you've never heard of, like Werewolf Santa, or you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. So I really hated the fact that we just got this wasted creature because it just didn't hit. And like I would have loved to have seen a full ass suit animatronic Krampus doing stuff, killing people, anything, but just throwing people in a fucking sack and running off, like that didn't do it for me. And I think without saying this movie's bad, because I don't really think the movie's bad, I just think that I wasn't the target audience. So it's not for me. And when it comes to watching this movie as opposed to something else, I usually will pick something else because I just don't have a good time watching this movie. Like I said, it has good parts. There are elements of this that are really cool, but as a whole, not very enjoyable for me. Ranking wise, I would give this movie like a 6.5 because, like I said, not it's not garbage. It's not a bad movie. It's just not for me, and it doesn't hit what I needed to hit at all. And Toni Collette, fucking wasted in this movie. How dare you put her in a movie and not let her do anything? It's just a crime against humanity. But that's how I feel.
I think 6.5 is pretty much where I'm at too on the ranking. I think that's a good ranking for it. It does lack in places, and I think one of my biggest complaints still is the Krampus. I feel like I know it's probably a little thing, and a lot of people are probably like, "Why does the jaw matter?" The jaw matters because
It matters.
the literal
It matters.
Like, if I bring down my mask right now, that essentially with a little better like paint makeup under for like an eye to move around, to have his eyes moving to show that he's not just like a statue. That's it. Like the jaw could have like trembled or moved just slightly to like it's gonna close just enough so you have like, oh, it moves. But it literally stayed at a perfect still for the 2 or 3 shots where it's like close up of his face. Give me a little something. Give me some drool. Give me something out of that mouth to make him a little more intimidating, other than, oh, it kind of just looks like a mask, or like, yeah. You know, like that. That's one of my complaints with it. I think the design of Krampus as a whole is really cool and could have been more, there could have been more done with that. I think what you have with that and with the lore of that, it could have been done more. So I think 6.5. It is not awful. It's definitely better than what we watched in Black Christmas, 2006. So I think a 6.5 is a pretty good rating for it. It is lacking in parts. I think we try to watch it during this when we're doing all the Christmas movies, just so I know there are horror movies in there. Is it one that I absolutely have to watch? No, but it usually gets thrown in there as like, hey, we need something, so we'll throw Krampus on kind of deal. I think the character's cool. I think the idea could have been done better. I think the character the creature could have been done better, and I would love to see them like expand upon it because he is really creepy if you look at the creature, but just could have Yeah, we could have done more. But it could have been under the PG-13. They may have been like, oh, it's too scary if he starts drooling and doing shit. You know, I don't know what limitations he had or why the reasoning, but yeah. So, that wraps up Krampus and Black Christmas for our Christmas spectacular. I haven't done this yet. Spectacular version of Sippin With Sin in the last episode of 2024. So, holidays will be over when we come back, Christian. So, do we want to lock in another movie for when we return in a couple months? I have a feeling I know where this is going to go right away. Just saying.
Where do you think it's going to go?
Well, I know what I want to say just to throw you a curveball, but I know what you're wanting because when we come back, it's going to be January, and we're going to be in the winter months, you know, the seasonal depression, and I know what you're going to want.
What do you think that is?
I'm not going to say it because I don't want to bring it on just yet.
No, tell me what you think it is.
Let the right one in. I know what you want. But I have we do actually have one. I'm not sure what it is. It's in Discord. Jordan suggested, and I need to add that to the list. I forgot. So that's my fault, Jordan. Don't yell at me. I will get it on the list so we can have it. There is one that's a newer movie that could be fun that I probably most likely will watch while we're on our holiday break. And I want to throw that out there if you're interested in maybe us watching it.
What is it?
Smile 2.
Smile 2. Smile 2 is definitely something that I'm interested in. I don't know where to watch it currently, but it's something that I am into.
Well, maybe we'll watch that one. If not, I guess our fallback can be maybe let the right one in or something. Me and Christian will talk about it, I'm sure, over the break. We probably...
Yeah.
So if you guys have suggestions during
maybe
this
we
break,
just come in. Yeah.
Now is your time to throw suggestions. We've done holiday ones, but the holiday season will be over. When we come back, it is time. We'll dive into some stuff. So hit us with them good suggestions, and we'll definitely check them out, okay? And we'll make a decision. We'll let you guys know. I'm going to throw you a stinker now to watch because of that. Oh, thanks, Jordan. Jordan, since you're in the Kick chat right now, what was the movie? I did see it, and I forgot, and that's my fault. I'm just curious if Christian has seen it. 'Cause I can't. Can I even get there right now? Maybe I can find it. Dying slowly from drainage over here.
Sounds horrible. Sorry that's happening to you.
It is. It is pretty bad. What are some movies we want to add? I would love to hear you guys' suggestions. Again, this is a great chance. Like I said, we have the next couple weeks with the holidays off, so come at us with some good suggestions. Give us stuff, whether it's an older movie like Black Christmas 2006. Me and Christian would have told you last week that, hey, that's a pretty great movie. And then this week I'm like, wow, it's not as great as we thought. So I'm definitely apt and like game to go watch some older movies that we may have seen, you know, that maybe, you know, are rewatch now in it'll be 2025 then, but it'd be cool to like, it's fun to go back through them and see if the nostalgia holds up or if, you know, not as good as we thought. Or hit us with those new movies. Hit us with some good stuff. Definitely like to check them out. But
yeah, I would be curious to see what you guys come up with. I think it might be better that we don't lock in a movie for this week, just for the sake of us being able to, you know, change our minds and choose something later on. I think that'd be really cool. And we can also talk about it off pod, come up with something to watch. I know that we talked about this movie before, but I see that it's streaming. And I know that you didn't like it, and I did. But it's been about a year and some change now since I've seen it. But remember The Wolf of Snow Hollow? You remember that?
yes.
I remember liking that. Haven't seen it in a while. Forgot a lot of the story beats. But I would be interested in revisiting that.
Okay.
But, like I said, we can talk about those things off pod if it's a little easier. Kind of pick something out, watch it, and then bring a new cinema.
I think Wolf of Snow Hollow, Smile 2, Let the Right One In. I mean, we're kind of in like, I feel like it needs to be almost a cold theme movie, but I guess it doesn't have to be. It doesn't really matter because we're kind of out of the holiday season. I will say, though, probably going to watch like Bloody Valentine or something. Or what was the one you said last week, Valentine's Day or whatever, around
Valentine.
Yeah, around Valentine's. Like, I think as we get close to February, we'll probably like jump into some of those for that. And then I'm sure we'll watch some Leprechauns or something in March. But we'll figure something out and come back with some good ones. But this is your opportune time Drop in the Discord. Hit us up on social media. All that stuff. Give us your cinema suggestions. Can be new, old. Points if you get something that we haven't seen, something kind of obscure. Jordan definitely tried that with the first week, and we ended up, man, that movie was a bit rough. But it is time, ladies and gentlemen, that we shift gears and we close 2024 out on a strong note with a little bit of
pass the whiskey.
That's right. Get your
Whiskey.
As we go into last call, the last call of 2024. All right. I have watched Santa's Sleigh. I know you guys will love it with Goldberg. Okay, you may have to throw that in there.
I forgot about that movie, dude. Oh my god, I don't remember anything about it. Just that he was in it in a Santa Claus suit. That's literally all I remember, and I would totally watch that again.
All right. Jordan's last call question was watching some videos on this topic last week and thought this would be a cool question to ask on the pod. But since, Christian, you were suffering with a migraine, I didn't want to make it worse with a loaded question. The topic is more Sir Robin Locke's ballpark, but Sin, don't wuss out. Okay, listen here. First off, yeah, I do what I want. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Last call. You're messed up, and now the Batman Who Laughs plus Batman Hatton are
Batman Hatton. Oh my god, I already like this question. Let's keep going.
Are coming to kill you. You have to defend yourself against them for 15 minutes. What 3 DC heroes, villains, are you choosing to help protect you against them? What's your strategy to survive? And your reason for the defenders you picked. Okay. Pause right away.
Oh my god.
Batman Who Laughs. Yeah, that's like the Batman Joker, like crazy Batman, right?
Yes.
Okay, who's the other one? I don't know that one. So, before I know who I'm defending against.
Do you know who Dr. Manhattan is?
Yes.
Okay, the Batman Who Laughed takes over the body, essentially, of Dr. Manhattan. That's who that is.
Are we talking about Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Exactly.
Oh, wait, no. You're messed up.
Oh, God.
You're effed up, and now Batman Who Laughs plus Manhattan. Oh, wait. So is this 2 people or 1?
It's 2. He's saying you fucked up now, and the Batman Who Laughs plus Batman Hatton are coming to kill you. So you have these 2 people coming to kill you, which technically they're the same person, but it's 2 people coming. 2 people out for your cheeks is what Jordan just said in the chat.
All right, so we have 2 really baddies. Like,
oh yeah, like the Batman Who Laughs is already a problem because he's Batman but evil, right? Like, and I mean evil as fuck.
So he's like Joker Batman.
You already got to
obviously.
Exactly. He's Batman infected with the Joker toxin. It's not good. It's not looking good. And then you got Batman Hatton coming after you, Dr. Manhattan, but also evil Jokered out Batman. Like ugh. I don't want to be cheap and name people that I feel like could win because it's technically the same people. So like if I had those people coming after me, I would want to say like, okay, well you need Dr. Manhattan because he can just, fix the problem. But if it's Batman Manhattan, I'm assuming Dr. Manhattan's off the board because he's technically dead. So Jordan, correct me if I'm incorrect, but I don't think you could even pick Dr. Manhattan because he's technically already dead if Batman Manhattan's coming after you. So let me know if that's even a choice
that is correct.
I can make because, oh God, then it doesn't matter who you pick because you're gonna die. Like it's Batman Manhattan can warp reality. So I don't really know who you can pick. You can probably pick Mr. Mitz. Oh Jesus Christ! Can I really not say his name right now? Mitzpitzelik. Oh my. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I think I said it. I think I said that. Jordan in the chat says Red Death. Here's the thing. Red Death isn't going to help you all that much because even though I think Red Death is cool as fuck and he has one of the coolest designs out of all of those evil Batman characters, he can't fully control the Speed Force. So like you might get lucky and run away for a little bit, but Batman Hatton's gonna just literally erase you from existence. So like, you're fucked. There's nothing you can do. Oh man, I'm literally trying to remember who could. Oh, I forget that version of Wonder Woman. I don't remember what version of that she's called, and I'm trying to remember right now. Um, I'm thinking about it right now. Sin, you probably can't even answer the question because you don't
Dude,
read the
you got so
comics
many
like that.
versions. I'm
So
like,
like,
I don't know who the hell you're talking about. Look, I'm gonna throw one of mine out there because I don't know half of these versions that you're talking about. I'm just gonna say Regime Superman, like the Injustice. Like, I'm gonna kill everybody if you even think twice about looking at me wrong, Superman.
mhm.
I don't think I have a shot of winning this fight at this point, based on the alter reality thing. I kind of think I'm screwed no matter who I pick. So I'm gonna throw him out there just because at least he's gonna be, dude. He's gonna take somebody with him a little bit.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm struggling though because I don't really. Who do you?
I'm trying. I can't remember like the name for this character, but it's that version of Wonder Woman with like the chainsaw of truth. I would have her on my team. She'd be a part of my three for sure. Um, Jesus Christ. I'm thinking because this is a really good question, and I'm probably going to be thinking about this for the rest of the night. So thanks for that, Jordan. Kind of hate you right now, but this is cool. Um, Jesus, I'm having a hard time. Wonder Woman with the Chainsaw of Truth is definitely on the list. Because she could help me take out the regular Batman who laughs. So I have that. I want to say Batman, but like, I don't. Oh Jesus, why is this so hard? Let me think. Mm, maybe because I'm trying not to say like, oh, I just used the quintessence. Maybe like the Phantom Stranger could probably help me out. So him. Trying to think. Okay.
Christian, you're not
Okay.
thinking of a good one.
I think I got it.
You're not thinking of a good one.
I think I got it.
You're not thinking of a good one. You're
Sup-
you're overthinking someone right now.
I got it. I'm ready.
Aquaman. Injustice Aquaman's gonna get in that ass with his pettiness. Trident. Trident. Trident.
If that's the case, I should just choose Injustice Batgirl.
Injustice
and win every
Aquaman.
time.
Injustice Ares. We're talking about the video game, by the way. We're like derailing the whole
game.
damn thing.
Yeah.
Who else was it? Ares, Aquaman,
Okay.
and who the most petty of them all? When every time Green Arrow was petty too, but Deathstroke. No, it wasn't Deathstroke. Was it? It was
It was Deathstroke.
that shot and would be so damn annoying because people would just zone.
Was it Deathshot?
No, it wasn't.
I thought it was
It was Deadshot, maybe.
It doesn't even matter.
Whatever. Okay, go back to yours because you actually have
Okay.
a real one.
All right. Superboy Prime. Because this dude's punching holes in reality. So Superboy Prime.
And he's delivering your packages within
Superman.
2 days.
Wait, what? Oh, I see what you're saying. Superboy Prime, probably Superman 1,000,000. Like the gold, like Superman who absorbed the power of the sun for years. That one. And probably and Batman with the Mobius chair. That's what I would do. I would use them.
Oh.
I would use them. I almost said Darkseid and Doomsday, but I feel like
I want to say
Batman
Darkseid.
Hatton would just like
I'm gonna throw Darkseid because that's one of the few I know.
That's fair. I mean, Darkseid is a heavy hitter, bro. He really is. But I was trying to think of some characters that like just punch holes in reality. So Superboy Prime. I don't even remember what I said anymore. Oh God. Superboy Prime.
Batman a million or some shit.
No, Superman 1,000,000.
Oh, not Batman. Sorry. And then Batman.
Because those are the heaviest hitters. And then probably, I want to say Doomsday because technically Doomsday can't fucking die. But I think that's a dumb answer because there's other characters that are smarter than Doomsday and also strong as shit. They could do something. You know what I mean? Piss. You know what? I'm just gonna commit Superman 1,000,000, Superboy Prime, and
Batman something.
White Lantern.
White
Lantern. Yeah, White Lantern's strong as piss. We're gonna go with it. No. Take that back. Not White Lantern. Let's do. Actually, you know what? Darkseid is a good answer. I'm gonna go Darkseid because Darkseid is really really smart as well. And when you get True Form Darkseid, I think he's gonna fuck shit up. So True Form Darkseid is the last person on the list. That's my answer. Full stop. I'm done. Jordan, you suck. This question. I'm literally going to be thinking about this all fucking day. Damn you, straight to hell. Also, I love you. This is great.
So, Kent, you're taking my dark side. So I said, what is the actual Injustice Superman when he's like all super asshole?
You just say Injustice Superman.
Isn't it Regime though or something? Red Regime.
The Regime was the faction that they had in the game. Yeah.
Shit. Okay, Injustice Superman, Darkseid, Brainiac.
Brainiac's an interesting answer. I like that.
Shit, I don't know. I don't have Superman 7384, whatever in the hell you're pulling these damn numbers with these characters. I don't know all these damn whatever variants. Christian shit. Oh my god.
That was really funny. Oh shit, that was good. I like that. Thank you.
I mean, I need a list of like DC characters over here, and I have nothing. Good God.
I mean, I wanted to be petty and just be like fucking Plastic Man, Superman 1,000,000, and fucking.
You be petty? All that never happens.
Yeah. It's like Plastic Man could do a lot of crazy shit. Plastic Man could just jump into fucking the Batman Who Laughs his mouth while he's laughing and then just expand and blow him into pieces.
Okay.
So,
all right, boys, calm down. Next, you're going to be like, he's going to jump into Batman's. Never mind. All right, we're not going down that road.
I don't think anybody was going down there but you.
You went down the road, Christian. I blame you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to episode 126 of the Sippin With Sin podcast. This year, we managed to hit 100 episodes as well as another quarter of the way to 200 episodes. Pretty awesome. These episodes happen live on Kick, kick.com/IamSinister every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time. We will see you guys in 2025 over here on Kick, and recording episodes will be a little hiatus. So if you miss us for a couple weeks, that is why. So enjoy your holidays. Happy holidays to you, and Merry Christmas. Episodes come out Wednesday, 8 a.m. Central Time on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and, of course, like I said, youtube.com/IamSinister. We're close to hitting 1K subs over there, so if you haven't already, please go drop a sub. It's free. We'll greatly appreciate it, and make sure to rate 5 stars, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff on Apple and Spotify. We would greatly appreciate it, and share it with a friend because we would love to keep growing this community and this group we have. So there is that. You can find us on social media at Sippin With Sin, SIPPIM with Sin, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and all that good stuff. Drop us a line. Give us your cinema suggestions. Give us your last call questions. And get ready for 2025 and some fun stuff. Let us know what guest you would like to see, what type of guest you would like to see, and all that. Because we're always looking to expand and make the show even better for you. You can find me on my personal socials. IamSinister TV, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, Twitch, all that stuff. And then you can find me live streaming on kick.com/IamSinister. And you can find me on youtube.com/IamSinister, where the Sippin With Sin podcast is, as well as my other content. And even my other podcast, the Behind the Vocals podcast, it is also on youtube.com/IamSinister and on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That's where the lovely folks, all of you out there, can find me. Christian, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at VinandInc, all one word. You guys can also find me on my personal TikTok, which is just my full name, Christian Vincent, which is also one word. Guys, I would love for you to come by, drop a DM, say what's up, ask me horror questions, comic book questions, whatever, last calls, all that stuff. It's all good fun. Come and say hi leading into 2025 and let me know who your favorite comic book character is. Thank you so much.
That's right. And lovely folks out there listening, if you made it this far, you're a real one. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for an awesome 2024 and growing and continue to grow. Evolving the podcast, we do appreciate it. Don't forget to join the Discord. Link should be down below. There's a whole section dedicated to Sippin With Sin, so come hang out with us there. It's a great way to drop those cinema suggestions, drop those last call questions, episode chat, all that good stuff. Give us suggestions about all things you'd like to hear or see. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is it for 2024. The street's snowy. It's cold. It's a little chilly. You don't have to go home. You may get run over by a reindeer. I don't know. But you got to get the hell up out of here, and we will see you guys in 2025. It's time for Christian to shut it down for 2024.
Guys, thank you so much again for another amazing year with Sipping with Sin. We appreciate all of you, all the questions, all the love, all the feedback. We will continue to do the same in 2025. But before you guys leave, before you sip your eggnog, before you go into the new year, I'm going to leave you guys with 3 words. 3 words to leave you with every podcast. If this is somehow your first episode, your first viewing, your first listening, listen very carefully because these 3 words might just save your life. And those 3 words are: don't get gutted.
See you guys in 2025.